You are at Lake Rant, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one's for Paru, who says, "Hey Digi, I hope you're surviving this month's rants well enough." Not at all. For this one, rant about trip hop. Either your thoughts on the genre generally, or more specifically, opinions on the bigger acts like Massive Attack, Tricky, or Portishead. So I haven't listened to a whole ton of trip hop. There's a great video by the channel Deep Cuts, Deep underscore Cuts, who he did all these videos where he would introduce you to a genre and like recommend the biggest acts in that genre, the most foundational. Maybe you've already seen this, but he does a good video about getting into trip hop. And I listened to some of the stuff from that, as well as having just heard some Massive Attack songs here and there. And I do like a lot of the Massive Attack songs that I've heard. I really like the general trip hop vibe. And where I actually think it's represented in an interesting way is in anime soundtracks of the late 90s and early 2000s. I don't know how big trip hop was in Japan, but listening to stuff like the Dot Hack Sign soundtrack, I feel like there's a lot of trip hop influence, which I rapped over in the World Over soundtrack. Boogie Pop Phantoms OP maybe has a little bit of that, or like the Tsukihime OP. It's just like you get these little threads of that super smooth, super nighttime fucking feeling hip hop, I guess. And I like it. I like that sound. I haven't heard like a full album by any of these bands that I was super into. A lot of the songs do like last a little longer than I might like them to, so that might be part of why. From what I've heard, anyway. Again, not a ton of experience, but I tend to favor music that has vocals and where the tracks aren't too long, and some of these bands do not have those attributes, but uh, yeah, it's just overall a very slick and cool sound. And I would love to maybe one day do some kind of research into just how much of it did appear in anime soundtracks in the in the early 2000s. I feel like there's plenty of examples. I feel like even some of the music from like the Higurashi soundtrack or something has a little influence from it. I'd probably have to learn a lot more about trip hop, and especially about Japanese trip hop, in order to go down that venture. But that's for the faraway future. No more new random big projects for me. I have to finish all these fucking rants.